A common theme we hear from companies that utilize Business Center is Business Center can enter linear data so quickly and accurately from so many different sets of data, it gives their estimators more time to figure out how to plan and then bid the job. Business Center's Corridor Mass Haul doesn't just give a company inventory reports with accumulated material running down the alignment and mass haul diagrams that show where the ballast points are along the alignment. Business Center greatly expands your bidding and project planning several steps further by giving you the capability to designate haul roads with costs, waste and borrow sites with costs and capacities. Also, as many user-defined haul ranges for different types of equipment that can be reported by cut and fill zones by machine's haul range in Excel. Business Center gives you the ability to insert barriers along the alignment that can't be crossed when hauling. Finally, stunning visualization tools such as color-coded haul ranges by machines displayed logically in Google Earth. Many of you will visit this project at Trimble Dimensions in Las Vegas, Nevada. Displaying the surface-based cut and fill map, you can see that the project starts off with cut on one side and fill on the other. As we move down the alignment, we start to run into all fill at Station 1 and fill all the way to Station 5. Then we transition to cut and need to fill again around Station 21. If we run the Corridor Earthwork report, we should see just that. From the start to Station 1, we have both cut and fill. Station 1 plus 50 until 4 plus 50 is all fill. Looking at the accumulated material to the right, you should be able to picture what the mass haul diagram might look like. Next, let's take a look at the numbers visually by generating the mass haul diagram. We are looking at the alignment running horizontally across the screen and the quantity of material vertically. The red line is the cumulative volume of cut and the blue the fill as we go down the alignment. From the cut and fill map, the diagram verifies that we start off with both cut and fill and quickly run into all fill. See how the blue line jumps straight up and the cut line stays flat? The green line is the aggregate of the cut and fill. If the green line is below the alignment, we are short material. When it intersects the alignment, that is where we have a balance. You notice the aggregate line stops abruptly right here at Station 22. The symbol means we have a barrier, which happens to be a river, so no more material can cross at this station. So what we need to do is haul around the barrier using haul roads. This is where an aerial image of the project's location comes in. On the other side of the barrier, we are short material. So our job is to find borrow pits and determine which ones or one is the most economical to bring material from. So what we have done is draw in haul roads using the Google Earth image as our backdrop. If you are fortunate enough to have roads in an electronic format, you could simply convert them to haul roads. We name the haul roads and put in a cost to haul material down the road. This is something you're probably already doing in your current bidding and planning methodology. Business Center just automates this process for you. Then, we determine where we can put an earthwork site. An earthwork site is simply a waste or a borrow pit. You visually see red dump trucks for waste and green excavators for borrow sites. We figure a cost that is associated with the earthwork sites and the capacity that we could dump or borrow. As I mentioned earlier, Business Center can enter the data so quickly you and your team can spend more time doing what I'm showing you here. For a job like this one, there may be more than several places to borrow and dump material. So you and your team can locate all potential scenarios, put an estimated cost associated to them, and let Business Center determine the most efficient and cost-effective way to balance and build the job. From the Mass Haul Costs Editor, you can change assumptions on the haul roads and earthwork sites to quickly see the outcome. Back to the mass haul diagram now. I simply hit the refresh button to see how Business Center optimized the job. Because of the barrier, we were long material. Since we located proposed waste sites, we could see Business Center determined it was more cost-effective to waste material at this location than haul it around using the haul roads. You could see from the green aggregate line that we have two areas that balance on this side of the river. If we click on the red dump truck at the top of the mass haul diagram, we can graphically see in the plan view where the material is being hauled to. On the other side of the river, we could see we have 1, 2, 3 balances. What did Business Center do to determine this? We can see that we were using 2 of the borrow pits to make the site balance. Really nice to see graphically on screen when we are planning on how to bid and build the job. We aren't quite done yet. Now that we have balanced the job, what types of equipment are we going to need to build the job? Business Center allows you and your team to put in as many haul ranges as you need. For this project, we estimated a dozer could push up to 300 feet, a scraper up to 1,000, and an off-road truck can haul up to 2,000 feet. If it is a really long project, you might want to know truck hauls from 5,000 to 10,000 feet, for instance. Once again, the Haul Range Editor lets you quickly change your ranges to see how it affects the mass haul diagram. Once we run Business Center's balance line report, a couple of things happen. First, you notice how the cut and fill map changed. Now, it is your mass haul diagram graphically displayed in the plan view. Red for cut stations, and blue for fill stations. Second, in the mass haul diagram, we see graphically the equipment needed in each balance. If we click on this truck haul, we see graphically from where the material is being cut in the plan view to where the material is being hauled. If we look at the truck's properties, we could see the cut and fill station ranges, the average distance of 1,515 feet, and the amount of material, 9,723 yards. Next, we will show you all of the information for all of the hauls by equipment in the balance line report in Excel. In the balance line report in Excel, we see all 9 balances. In the balances, we see the range of cut and fill stations, and then broken down for the type of equipment needed inside the ranges. In balance 4, we see that we are cutting 3,926 yards and filling 3,543 yards between these stations. 83 yards is being cross-hauled from one side to the other. Some people call this in-station dirt. The average haul for this dozer is 169 feet. The scraper is moving 4,430 yards at an average of 508 feet. The last report we will run before reviewing the job in Google Earth is the Corridor Mass Haul Report. Once again in Excel, the Corridor Mass Haul Report breaks the job down by source and destination. Source being the cut and borrow operations, and the destination being the fill and waste operations. For the source, we are cutting 47,178 yards and borrowing from the pits 11,365 yards. The haul cost to get it from the pit costs this, and to move the material on site is this, for a total of $19,603. We are filling 40,942 yards on site and wasting 15,241 yards. Here's the haul cost and site costs for a total of $32,556. The cost to move the material in the mass haul is this, for a grand total of $53,797. If you aren't already using Google Earth as a tool for your estimating and planning, I think you will start after what I'm about to show you. Here is the project at our Trimble Dimensions site in Las Vegas, Nevada. You could see the mass haul diagram graphically in Google Earth, just like you did in the plan view in Business Center. Running down the left side in Google Earth's version of Project Explorer, you could see all the different hauls by equipment from Business Center's balance line report. Earlier, when explaining the balance line report in Excel, I read out the numbers in balance number 4. Here is balance number 4 isolated in Google Earth. Just simply leave checked what you want to isolate in Google Earth. You can clearly see the dirt that the dozer is pushing and the scraper is hauling. I think you see the power of Business Center's Corridor Mass Haul. With your current methods, think about all the jobs that your company had bid and planned for in the past. How big of an impact do you think Business Center can bring to your company on the jobs you're going to bid and plan for in the future?